Well, hello. My name is Bob Biega. I am your instructor for 126 and 126S here in MyLabs Plus online. Just a couple brief things. I don't like to make these videos too long because I know, we got things to do. But I just want to go over a couple things, let you meet me kind of face to face, and I'll talk about some housekeeping type issues before you go through the class tour. Um, this course for years still is for students in manufacturing, industrial maintenance, stuff like that, electricity, electronics. Those programs take it for credit for their major. Some students are taking it as a prerequisite for college algebra. Now, hopefully, as time goes on, that will go away and there'll be other avenues because a lot of students don't want to take Math 85, and I can understand that. The problem sometimes is in this course, we do questions involving circuits, things like that for the program. So if you're not in that program, the terminology might confuse you somewhat. You can still do the math, but the terminology, the measurements, can mess you up. So try not to let that happen. Just try to do the math. Don't procrastinate. The biggest mistake students make in these online courses is they think they can do all their work in one day. So when I go to the tour, when you go through the class tour, you'll see on my course outline, I've started, changing things up for students that can't seem to pace themselves, giving you more frequent due dates. I hate to do that. Some people work, have commitments, and may not be able to do work one week, but I had to do it. So I've tried to make the majority of my due dates like Sunday nights. Doesn't always happen because, things just come, I had to do it certain ways. But most of the time, your due dates are Sundays. So that way, if you are working a full-time job, you can at least do Saturday and Sunday, maybe Friday night, or do one assignment during the week, two on the weekends. So I try not to do more than 3 assignments due during a week, but there will be weeks where you'll have a couple homeworks, quiz, and maybe a test. Not often, but it happens, okay? So that's kind of stuff with that, class stuff. Now, you have to have a passing average between the midterm and the final, okay? So, there'll be information in the class about those 2 exams. It's not up yet, but it will be. So make sure you understand that a proctored final means you have to prove your identity, take the test either at a testing center at your campus, or I do allow what's called ProctorU, for your exams, and you can take it at home. You got to have a webcam, and they verify your identity. They watch you through your computer. So those are things you have to do. Now, the reason I bring that up is because there are occasions, not always, not a lot, but where students may either get some sort of extra help to get their work in and to make all these great grades on their homework and tests that I'll talk about on the class tour, and they're not ready for the midterm and the final. So what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that you're ready for the midterm and the final by doing your own work. When you review for the final and for the midterm, make sure you review like in the same environment as you would when you're going to take the proctored test. So in other words, I do allow, 1 page of notes front and back for those 2 tests. Create that and review from that. Okay, but that information will come down the road. Sorry. But that's the main thing I see. Students waiting too long to get busy on their work, trying to do it all in a couple of days. Very rarely works out. Very rarely works out. Students, aren't self-motivated, so they don't ever get started, and then they fall way behind. And then students either getting extra help or using apps or websites or whatever just to get answers. Well, that's great, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to pass the final or the midterm. Okay, just not. Okay, so that's that. Now, if you need help, I gave an example through the homework. There's ways to ask me for help. I will be, again, as I talk about in the class tour, doing virtual office hours on Wednesday nights, 7 to 8. So if you're really stuck on something, shoot me an email. We'll figure out what we can do from there. It's sometimes difficult to do math help over email, but it's not impossible. It can be done. So that's one thing. But please get busy, take it seriously, ask for help when you need it. And if you got to go to tutoring, go to your local campus for tutoring. This is, I created this course, so there may be some bumps, could be some, things I messed up on, entirely possible. And if there is, I always err on your side. Okay. I've always been that way. I feel I'm very easy to get along with, very flexible. I'll do what I can to help you achieve your goal, but you have to do some too. Okay. So, that's it. I'm sitting here Saturday night because Friday all week I had stuff going on. So I'm making this video on Saturday night, and I know the course isn't totally complete yet, but it's close. Okay. It's good enough for what you need right now. But the information about the midterm and the final hopefully will be up soon. Okay, but we've got some time for that. All right. So anyway, so that's it. I've gone over. I like to keep this under 5 minutes. I've already talked too much. But I'm sure I'll think of some more stuff. But be on the lookout. Please check your email. Okay. I hear 10% of my students never check their email, and then they're surprised when things are due. So you got to check your email. I mean, you are the email generation. Okay, I am not the email generation. I am the snail mail generation. So you all have all these ways to communicate. Please check your email. Okay, I'm not tweeting. I'm not Facebooking. All right, I'm emailing. All right, so if that's too old school, sorry. All right. So anyway, I like to joke around and I like to have fun. So good luck to you. And again, any questions? Let me know, and we'll be talking to you soon.